What's up, everybody? Snipo117 back here. Having some crazy audio problems. I think if this one doesn't work out, I think it's a sign to cancel the damn Let's Play, because I've literally run into 5 problems now. And I don't want to spoil too much with how much time I've had to spend on it. But let's just say the first time I tried recording this, had massive frame rate issues. The second time I had an audio issue where the game was way louder than I was. So then I tried fixing that. Well, then I got copyright flagged for something that was like hardly even hearable. So I kind of gone back and did some things to hopefully prevent that. And then I started recording again. I recorded 3 parts, and then in every part, for about, it would be like 10-second intervals, where there would be this crackling noise, and I was like, no, I can't release this. This is just garbage. I cannot do that. Like, I'm above such, like, things. So this time I tried recording it on the 4th time, and I was like, okay, here we go with this, everything was going well, frame rate issues, the volume seemed like it was going to be okay. And then I realized, oh crap, in Fraps, after I recorded this and I started playing it, I realized there's no crackling, but I realized in Fraps I didn't turn on listen to the mic, because I turned that off for a separate recording I was attempting, which failed anyways, just because I sucked at the game. But yeah, so I've been having a lot of issues with this game. Not the game, actually, just recording the game. Not to mention it's an older game, so I can't even run it in window mode. And Camtasia's never really worked for me whenever I tried recording without having a screen capture in window mode. It just never worked out, which is actually what I'm using right now to record my voice as the video plays over. Which led me to my 5th problem, where it has a thing, and it says Audio Setup Wizard. And at first I thought it said Auto Setup Wizard, and that's why I didn't click on it, but apparently it isn't automatically set to listen to my high definition microphone. It's set to listen to the computer system, which means it just doubled up on the game volume. And I was so upset. I'm not crying, I mean, I'm literally recording this again, so. Anyways, that's enough talking about my problems in the first world here that I live in. Let's move on to more important and fun things, like talking about video games, because that's all I'm really good at. I actually think, instead of using the normal topics I just talked about, I want to say a little something about myself, and as I do videos I might tell little bits more and more. But I'd like to say I started gaming at a very young age. I started playing on the Super Nintendo. I want to say it was the Super Nintendo or the regular Nintendo when I was like 4 years old. I had a Super Nintendo. It was awesome. I have like boxes of cartridges, just, you know, that work still. Like I have a couple Nintendo systems that I can still plug up, like Mario or this weird old Godzilla game that I used to be bad at, but now I play it and I'm like, man, this is really easy. Why was I so bad at this? Oh yeah, I was 4 years old eating the controller. But you know, I'm actually kind of a stereotypical person as far as like, oh, why'd you love video games so much? Well, because my parents didn't show me affection, kind of thing. Like, I got more affection from it than I did my mother. And that's not bad, honestly. I'm not ashamed of that. It wasn't my fault, right? It's their fault. It's like, oh, you have bad parents. Yeah, a lot of people do. Welcome to the world, homie. Just in case anyone out there kind of thought that. And it's fine. It's fine. Because if you were saying that, you probably had bad parents too. But it's okay. It's alright. I love everybody. That's a lie. But we're going to pretend I love everybody. So, you know, it's making me think about all these times, you know, as I grew up and I played video games. I played the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 1. Didn't ever own a PlayStation 2, but I did end up getting a Xbox. But in between that time, I used to go to a friend's house and we'd play Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, all the time. And I was a super smart kid at that point. I was short and fat at the time, so what I lacked in physical attractiveness, I needed to gain back in smartness to survive in the day-to-day routines of life. So I was pretty much the guy that walked him through the whole game that I was not playing. But it was still fun. I still loved watching people do Let's Plays, because I was pretty poor for the most part growing up. Like, most of these things were gifts from people in my family who did have money. They just happened to gift it to me. So, you know, I got to go over there, and I think that's why I enjoy watching people play video games online, because I've had some people say, oh, that's so boring, they're just sitting there playing a game. And I'm mostly like everyone else, I watch it for the personality playing the game. It's fun, but like Matt and Pat and the super best friends, all four of them, with Wooly and I was about to say Leon. It's not Leon. I don't remember what his name is, but he's the anime guy, and I don't want to sound like I don't like him. He's cool. I mean, I like them all, but like watching them play and listening to them have so much fun together, like even though it's Matt and Pat, that's pretty much what they do, as it's kind of like that's their job. You know, it's still fun to just see like they're having fun. They're bros. That's what they're doing. They are two best friends, right? That's awesome. Because then it gives me a little bit of nostalgia when I got to do that with some of my friends that aren't around anymore. You know, that I didn't get to carry on in my adult life. You know, because of time, moving, and stuff like that. And it's just nice to be able to go sit down and watch them, and they're being goofballs, and they're not taking the game serious, and I wouldn't go watch them play if I wanted to watch a game be played serious, just like I wouldn't go watch Markiplier, and most of the time I wouldn't go to watch JackSepticEye. His older videos are fine, but he kind of went into the silly action, and he has more fun with it, which is fine. If I want to watch a serious Let's Play, I go to the Rad Brad, or I go to Cryotic to watch something like Off the Wall series, for the most part. So, you know, it's good to have nostalgia. I like YouTube for that, and the fact that like everybody's sort of connected. Everybody's like all the bigger people, like, you know, they all got their things. You know, they all talk to each other at one point or another. And you have different kinds of personalities. You have different kinds of things on YouTube. It looks like this episode is going to turn into me talking about my ideas of YouTube. But you have things like SeaNanners and Curious Gamer and a little bit of GassyMexican, where, you know, they kind of do it for the entertainment value. They're not doing it just to have fun themselves. They are having fun, I can tell. But, like, I remember in one episode I was watching GassyMexican say, when they said they were going to do something, he's like, hey, as long as it's entertaining. Which, at first I was like, oh, as long as it's entertaining. But then I kind of realized, like, a lot of stuff they do kind of feels, how do I say this? Like, without having everyone destroy me in comments. I don't think they're really connected to their fan base, which is okay. You don't have to be. Most actors and actresses aren't. And I know they're not just staging everything. I'm not saying that either. I mean, they are having fun, but they're trying to deliberately be entertaining, and it's not as natural. And I'm just a guy who likes natural. I don't find supermodels super attractive as much as I will, like, some of my friends that have little imperfections, you know, and I find that carries off into every part of my life, is I like natural over anything that at all that's synthetic or forced. Okay? That's just me. You don't have to agree, it's fine. And don't get me wrong, I watch SeaNanners. I watch his daily upload every day on his gaming channel. I watch GassyMexican, especially since he doesn't cut a lot of stuff out of his videos. He's been doing it a little bit more recently. It's kind of upsetting, but I understand he's got to do it for the sake of everyone else that's not me. And they want to just skip some of that stuff. I like the downtime. I like the roller coaster of going up and down in some of these things. Sometimes it's okay to watch a guy get lost. So that way, you know, it's kind of like if you were riding a roller coaster and you were going all the way up to the top, right? That build-up's great, you know, and you start getting into it, but then you sit at the top and you're up there and you're like, oh god, we're about to go smack the earth at like Mach 3. You know, tell my mom she's fat before I die. And then you're just sitting there. And for a while it feels good. But then after you do it for like these 15-minute to 20-minute episodes, you kind of start getting, maybe we should call somebody. I think we're stuck. You know, like, and I think that's why SeaNanners sticks to like short 3 to 4 minute videos, because if he did everything like he does for 15-minute intervals. First of all, he wouldn't have content backed up for a couple days like he does. Like, I know he does because I watch GassyMexican upload stuff like a week before he will, so I know he has backed up, which is fine. Most YouTubers should, and in fact do. But if you had a constant exposure to that, you'd find it very repetitive very quickly, right? And yeah, now that's why JackSepticEye, he has moments where like he allows himself to get mad, and then he has like him to fail multiple times, and you see the fail. I think that's why he does so well, is because he's allowing you to see failure. So yeah, I truly think that plays a significant part of him being watched. Markiplier used to have a similar thing. He used to show a lot more of himself failing, but a lot of times he just figured things out really quickly. And now he's getting a little older. He's also been doing this for a while. He's getting slower at figuring things out, and I think he's starting to get to the point where he's trying a little too hard to be silly and entertaining. It feels a little forced at times, and I kind of missed him being just himself playing the game, because I found him as himself entertaining. But obviously he's doing something, right? He has 6 million subscribers, so what the hell do I know? I'm single, right? So, anyways, moving on. You know, I kind of go back, and I've gone back and watched his older videos, because I only started watching him about a year ago. It was right after I got medically discharged, and it was just nice to watch somebody entertaining and silly and funny, and it brightened up my day, especially when I got to see his story and see that, like, he had so many similar things. Like, he had his appendix fail, and he was messed up in the hospital, and then he lost his job. Like, I got attacked by a rabid cat. 5 days later, had my appendix fail. Then when I finally get off of the 6 weeks recovery, I lost my job at the machine shop I was at. And so I had just, you know, and things have progressively happened from there on, but nothing, like, those are the most noteworthy because they all happened in direct succession of each other. So, you know, I was getting rabies shots while limping from, like, and hunched over from having appendicitis, and it was a great time. It was a great time. Got to meet a lot of pretty nurses, very nice ladies. So, yeah, anyways, I just drifted off YouTube topic there for quite a bit. You know, I don't monetize these videos, at least right now. Like, I'll never monetize a video I didn't initially monetize, because if I get to the point where I'm monetizing videos, I'm probably pretty successful and it's fine. I don't feel like I'm as entertaining as I want to be, and I mean, obviously I don't even have a lot of subscribers at this point. I have like 20, I think, and most of those are people I know. So if you're watching this and I know you, hey, what's up? How you doing? And all that. So, yeah. But I'm not monetizing the thing. Now, why am I saying this? Well, when I got copyright flagged for having third-party content, and it was really a part that that's about to happen. I didn't even get to in this, but I got copyright flagged for it, where it was just music playing in the background, and it was so loud it was overlaying my voice, and so it thought I was just trying to steal the music. And even though you can only hear it for about 5 to 6 seconds worth of it, it still flagged me, and it said that now ads may be on your channel or on this video. I was not okay with that. And I wasn't okay with the overall audio quality anyways, so I took it down. But it just really upset me that they were trying to monetize, like, it was going to start paying someone else for just that little snippet of music. As if, like, the whole 30 minutes of what was going on was all them. That was their doing. If it wasn't for them, no one would have watched this. Man, nobody's watching it anyways. So what are you doing? Anyways, I'm not downing myself. I think I'm a unique person. I think I've been told I have a unique voice, and since so many people keep telling me that, I'm inclined to believe them. The audio quality is going to be a little bit worse on this, just because the voice narration for Camtasia does not work as well as I'd like it to. Fraps records my voice a lot better, but this is the best option because I'm not recording this part again if I can help it. So yeah, I've been talking a lot about YouTube this episode. Might as well stick to it. One thing, this is off topic, changing subjects for those trying to keep up, that I see a lot of YouTubers do, is they say, I'll leave a link in the description below. That's very redundant and clichéic at this point, because a lot of times, if you just tell me you're going to, it's like, I'll leave a link, that's really all you'd have to tell me, is you'll leave a link. I know where you're going to put it. There's only so many places you can put it, and it's probably going to be in the description. The other part of that I have the bigger problem with is when they say in the description below. Because say YouTube goes and they makes their details drop-down box above the video instead of below it. Or they move the description off to the right instead of having the related videos there. Right? Say they want to have the related videos at the top or just below the video instead of the description. Maybe just because they want to change up their aesthetics or they want to try something different. Now you're going to have all these big-time YouTubers who can't, you know, who made these videos that are saying in the description below. Well, guess what? The description ain't below anymore. So they look a little weird. And you might think, well, that's a weird problem and it's probably not going to happen, but it already has. Because you have those older videos where they say, rate 5 stars and subscribe. We don't have 5 stars anymore. And you might think, well, that's not that big a deal. But it kind of is, because when you date a video, it actually affects how often people will view your video. For instance, there's a lot of people that will do fake times and stuff because they don't want you to, A, see when they recorded it, so you don't see that, hey, this is a backup thing they made a year ago. You know, why didn't we get this then, sort of deal. You know, because you have that kind of thing. And 2, they don't like dating their video because people are going to be watching it and they're like, oh man, I'm so out of place, and they don't want to just finish watching it because they feel like, oh, it's just so old. Right? Like, that's why I've been straying away from seeing... Now, even though you can, yes, see the published date, I mean, how many people really check the published date? Like, unless there's something about, oh, you uploaded it because this person was doing it, kind of deal. That's the only time the date comes into use. No one cares otherwise. But when you bring it directly to someone's attention, for some reason, it's just shown it affects your views. Now, I'm not saying I want to become a YouTuber. I'm not saying I want to make this my professional job. As cool as that is, and as much as I respect the job of a YouTuber, because it's the entertainment industry, without having to be an actor or actress, it's a lot less drugs most of the time. And I completely respect it. I don't, you know, I'm one of those people that say it is definitely a full-time job, because just doing this on my free time is time-consuming. Like, I can't imagine doing, like, really professional stuff all the time. I mean, I almost feel like that would take the fun out of it, and that's why I'm doing this, because it's therapeutic, because it's fun. I love, by the way, just a side note, that ship flying back there in the background about 8 seconds ago, just looked epic. Just saying. Anyways, yeah, so, you know, if YouTube wanted to change things up, now you have all these people that are doing this, and that might, the fact that so many people do it might prevent YouTube from ever changing their aesthetic to something that is better or works better, because you have so many people that are doing it like that. And of course, they didn't really care back in the time when they said, rate 5 stars, but that's because the like and dislike button was such a better concept that they were like, you know, it's worth the pain that people are going to have from it. And plus saying rate 5 stars, you'd be, okay, just like it. Because that is rating it 5 stars. Like, for instance, if I don't like a video, like I just didn't find it entertaining, or I thought they just were dumb or whatever, I don't like or dislike it. Fact is, I gave them the view, and that's enough. I didn't like it. So it's not going to be upped in any kind of ranking other than its view count. But if I truly didn't agree with something, then I dislike it. Or if they said something that I really, like, was like, oh, no, that ain't cool, bro. I take that out. I dislike it. Because that does count. You might think that just because you're one person with one account on YouTube, like me, I'm one guy, and I make a video because my computer just happens to be strong enough to record it. Okay, I'm playing it on a laptop, right? I have Turtle Beaches I got like 3 years ago, you know? Like, you might be one person, but one person can do a lot of things. Like, it only takes 1,000 favorites to move a video from the bottom of a, you know, thing to the top, like to put it on the front page, is for 1,000 people to put it on favorites. Just 1,000. That number might have changed since, like, a year ago. But that was what it was about a year or two ago. About a year and a half. It was just 1,000. It was, like, equivalent to making 10,000 likes. And that's extraordinary. Like, just to think that only 1,000 people. You might think I'm only one, but if everyone had the idea that I'm only one person What can I do? You know how many people would have that idea? Millions. But what if everybody had the idea that I'm one person, but I'm going to try to make a difference? Then you would have millions of people making a difference. Because ultimately, you watching a video affects the flow of money. It affects the flow of YouTube. They will listen to money because they are a business, and I'm not downing them for that. Everyone has to make money, right? But you get to directly affect the flow of their currency without throwing a riot, without throwing a tantrum, without burning buildings down, or burning crosses, whatever, you know? You don't have to do that. All you gotta do is show your support. You just like or dislike or leave comments. That's all you gotta do. So that's all. I think that's a good note to end this video on. So, and I'm out of time. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully next time I'll actually be able to be in-game, giving you some what's up and heads downs. So, next episode, stay tuned because I'm going to have a spider droid fight and a grenade launcher